Okay, here's question 12. Measles is a disease that can be prevented through 2 doses of the MMR vaccine. The target set by health experts to achieve measles-free status is to have at least 95% of the population vaccinated. The World Health Organization declared the UK measles-free in 2016. However, since 2016, cases of measles in the UK have been increasing, with too few people being vaccinated. It was suggested by experts that when measles cases became less common, some people believed that the threat of the disease was less. Another factor was the publication in the late 1990s of a controversial and since discredited piece of research wrongly linking the MMR vaccine with autism. In 2018, there was a marked increase in reported cases, with 994 cases in England and Wales compared with 284 cases in 2017. There were 307 cases across the UK during the first 3 months of 2019. In 2019, only 87% of the population in England received their second dose of MMR, and in both Wales and Scotland it was 92%. In Northern Ireland it was 91%. Okay. All right, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of numbers in there. We're just going to have to go to the questions, I think, and see if we can find the information from the questions. First thing here it says is measles is caused by a pathogen. State the meaning of the term pathogen. Well, I would say a disease-causing organism. And in the case of our bodies, it's going to be a microorganism because it has to be small. So we're going to call it a disease-causing microorganism. I don't know if you're going to get away with organism only. I think you should, but it wasn't in the marking instructions, so I'm not sure about that. Describe the relationship between the uptake of the vaccine and the number of cases of measles. Well, if we look at the chart, remember, relationship in these in almost all of our things is as something increases or decreases, so something increases or decreases. That's our relationship sentence that we're going to use as our basic standard sentence. So we're going to start with as. Now, what do we have to say? Relationship between uptake of vaccine. So as uptake of vaccine decreased, didn't it? Decreased. Yeah. The number of cases increased. So I would suggest that you need to do, I don't think you need to name the vaccine. There's only one in the thing, but they did say, I'm just using the variables, if you like, that they've put in here as uptake of vaccine and number of cases of measles. And I'm just saying as one decreased, the other increased. And that's the relationship that we want in there. Suggest a reason why the uptake of the vaccine in the UK has been lower since 2016. Well, there's a couple of things in here. Some people believe the threat of the disease was less. Another factor was publication of a controversial, since discredited piece of research wrongly linking MMR vaccine with autism. That's your anti-vaxxers in there. People who are refusing the vaccine because they think it's dangerous. So I think that the best thing to do here is to say, I think I'm just going to take this one. Some people believe the threat of disease was less. All right, so that's what I'm going to put in. Some people believed the threat of disease was less. And that's because the cases dropped, the numbers of cases dropped. So when the disease isn't there. Okay, we need to calculate the simplest whole number ratio of measles cases in England and Wales in 2017 and 2018. Okay, what we need to do is go and find these numbers. Simple whole number ratio 27 to 2018. England and Wales, one country, I presume. So let's have a look. In 2018, there's a marked increase in reported cases, with 994 cases in England and Wales compared to 284 in 2017. So 2017 is 284 and 2018 is 994. Make sure you're careful when you transfer these numbers. Of course, you can open up the paper and you'll be able to see both sides of it. So 2017 was 284. I'm just going to put this directly above and above the place where we're going to put the answer, and 994 in 2018. Okay, so let's get this whole number ratio. Now, this isn't a terribly simple one if you're just going to divide by factors until you get there. So the simplest thing to do here is divide both numbers by 284. All right, so you're going to divide both numbers by the smallest one, and then we'll get a new ratio. So we'll make that 284, right, and 284, and then we'll get a ratio of 1 to something. Let's have a look. So on, and 994 divided by 284 equals 3.5. All right, so now what we need to do is multiply both sides so that we get rid of this fraction. This is a little bit like balancing equations in chemistry as well. So if I multiply 3.5 by 2, I'll get 7. So in the end, so I'm going to multiply that by 2, and by 2, and that will give me 2 to 7. Remember, you must multiply your 1 as well, otherwise it won't work. So the answer is going to be 2 to 7 is the lowest whole number ratio. All right, using data from the passage, explain why Scotland lost its measles-free status in 2019. Okay, what do you need for measles-free status, and then what did Scotland fall to in 2019? That's the question we have to answer here. So here we are. The target set by health experts to achieve measles-free status is to have at least 95% of the population vaccinated. Right, let's see if we can find Scotland in here. Oh, here it is. In both Wales and Scotland, it was 92% in the 300... first 3 months of 2019, okay? In both Wales and Scotland, it was 92%. So 92% is below 95%. So what we'll do is we'll say experts say 95% vaccination required for measles-free status in 2019. Scotland was, let me just get the number correctly, 92%. 92%. There you go. That should get the marks for us. Tricky one there. You might have a different method for getting lowest whole number ratio, and it's going to be hard with that. Just divide the numbers, both numbers by the smallest number. That gets you 1 on the smallest side, and then work it out from there. If this is 0.33, you multiply by 3. If it's 0.75, you multiply by 4, etc. You're just trying to multiply up by something that gets you a whole number on this side. Okay, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. I will see you in the next video.